The goals of this ideological war. Number one, the Muslims are invaded from the angle of Aqidah. First and foremost, from the angle of their belief system. And because this is the most important thing for the enemies of Islam, that they uproot you, or they uproot the religion, the very religion that you were born with, that they remove it from your heart. The spread of atheism, secularism, liberalism, and all other ideologies that separate mankind from the Creator and Sustainer in an absolute manner. Meaning, by disbelieving in His existence altogether. That is the goal, to cause you to disbelieve in your Creator altogether. This has now become apparent in our time, whereby you find once practicing Muslims, memorizers of the Book of Allah, those that attended the masajid and were connected to the masjid, completely apostate and leave Islam to become atheists or to follow other religions. This phenomenon is due to nothing other than this ideological warfare that has been unleashed on to the Muslims, which is from the plots of the enemies of Islam. Likewise, the spread of innovations within the religion of Islam by way of deviant callers that further distance us as Muslims from the true call of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Number two, the Muslims are also invaded from the angle of morality and modesty in terms of upright moral behavior and conduct and how one carries themselves. قال التابعي صفوان بن سليم رحمه الله تعالى: ليأتين على الناس زمان تكون همة أحدهم فيه بطنه ودينه هواه. The Tabi'i Safwan ibn Sulaym rahimahullah mentioned and said, there will come upon the people a time whereby the main concern for one from amongst them will be filling his stomach, and his religion will be fulfilling his desires. His religion will become fulfilling his desires. Thus, the maintaining of good moral behavior has weakened and has become corrupted, and corruption has become widespread. Fasad, corruption, has become widespread. Men no longer know what the meaning of lowering the gaze is. It has become a foreign concept, whereby looking at pictures and videos of indecently covered women has become normalized. Corruption has become so widespread that a Muslim man or woman that commits zina has become normalized. That having children out of wedlock has not only become normalized and accepted amongst the Muslims, but has also become something celebrated. So we've taken it even a step further. Whereas maybe 10, 15 years ago, if we were to hear of a Muslim having a child out of wedlock, meaning two people who are not married having a child, would cause us to be shocked. However, now that shock has disappeared. And so that having children out of wedlock has not only become normalized, but something celebrated, and all in imitation of the most immoral of people walking the face of the earth. The Muslim woman that was once hidden and preserved in her home away from the eyes of men, has now become exposed and brought out for all to enjoy, posting her body parts all over social media and making a display of herself with the conviction that this is an expression of her freedom and her liberty, that she is doing this for herself and not for anyone else. This is what the shaitan has whispered to her and convinced her of, and made her forget the beauty of covering that which is valuable, as is done, or has convinced her that this is what the shaitan has whispered to her and convinced her of, and made her forget the beauty of covering that which is valuable, as is done with everything valuable. And that which is freely on display for all to enjoy is cheap and loses its value. Number 3, the Muslims are also invaded from the angle of ideology. Hence, many of the Muslims have had their ideology and mentality distorted and corrupted, and has gone from that which was of great significance previously to complete rubbish. And instead of their ideologies and mentality being connected to that which would strengthen their iman, ameliorate their moral character, and give honor to their religion, their ideologies have solely been about satisfying and bringing comfort to their bodies, meaning dunya and worldly matters, build up their wealth and what they deem to be their legacy, regardless of all of this being at the cost of their religion. They are willing to pay that price. They are willing to pay that price.